Hi, this is Christine, and I'm here today to show you a project that I made using just 3 Cherry Lynn dies. Cherry Lynn is my favorite die company, and I made this gift topper using just 3 of their dies. A little bit of background information about Cherry Lynn. Cherry Lynn is a division of Dies Direct, which is the largest die maker of dies in the United States. If a die is made in the United States, there's a 99% chance that it's made by Dies Direct because they produce dies for over 100 companies worldwide and probably produce over 30,000 designs a day. Dies Direct has set the standards for guidelines for etched dies, and probably I think it's about 11 years ago, they are the ones who started making the standards for the dies and the guidelines that companies need to follow so that a die is produced correctly and that you get the greatest cut possible with that die. Dies Direct was also the first company to come out with the metal adapter plate, which is this right here, which actually is a shim, and it works with detailed dies so that you get the perfect shim, and it will prevent you from over shimming, which is what happens sometimes if you use paper or cardboard and you don't use the right amount, and that can break your machine. One of the reasons I love Cherry Lynn designs is because they have just thousands and thousands of designs, and that combined with their low pricing and top quality makes it a sure win for me. So I'm just going to walk you through this project, and we'll talk a little bit about the dies, and I'll show them to you. Again, this was made with just 3 dies, and I'll show those to you. The first die I used was a doily die, and it's called the Italian Flourish, and it is number DL103. And that's the background. And I also used the Snowflake number 2 die, which is DL166. And then I also used the Snowflake 5 die, which is DL169. These 3 dies layered together made this beautiful gift topper. This is what I used it for anyway. You can place it like this on top of presents, packages. It is 3-dimensional, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, and then also I looked at it and I thought, wow, that would be a beautiful ornament. So I made a double-sided one, and you can hang a little string from it or ribbon, and you can hang this from a gift bag as well. So that's the double-sided one. I'm just going to show you a few that I've made right off the bat. This obviously is for Halloween. Here's another one for Halloween. And then I have this beautiful one with the fairy that says Dream. And then I have another really pretty one here just with pink and green patterned paper. Now this is what it looks like on the back, so obviously you can adhere this to a package, or you can let it dangle by attaching a ribbon or thread or yarn, whatever it is you'd like to use, and hang it from a gift package. But I just thought they're just beautiful. These 3 dies I do have for sale over on my blog, which I'll put it in the description. It's because every picture has a story to tell.blogspot.com. And I do have a kit available with these 3 dies for $35.99 total, and that includes shipping. You can purchase it right over there if this is a project you'd like to use on your own. Now I'm just going to show you quick here. This is the doily that I used, and I just want you to see all the detail in this. Okay, so the shim, which I'll also have the shim available on my blog for purchase as well if you need it, You don't necessarily need it for this die in particular, but you do need it for most all of the other doilies. Because of the detail in this die and several of the others, you want a deep cut to cut out each and every one of these little pieces. So the shim just provides the accurate amount of pressure as you roll it through your machine so that you're able to get that cut. Now I will tell you that when I make my doilies, any of the doilies, I roll it through the machine probably 3 or 4 times to achieve the cut. This is what it looks like when it comes out. I will show you as we create the tools, which is a 5-piece tool set that will also be available on my blog, and it just helps you to poke out some of the little pieces that may not come out after cutting it, especially around the center here. And I will show you that as we proceed. So this is the doily die. That's what it looks like. Here is the snowflake number 5 die. And then here's the snowflake number 2. So as you can see, they're all this really pretty purple, amazingly thin. Look at how thin that is, which makes it perfect for storing. You don't have those big clunky dies laying around that you have to try to figure out where to store. So those are what the dies look like. And what we're going to do is create, first of all, you know what, let's use the green one because I want to show you. Now this is what happened when I rolled this through my machine 3 times. Actually, I used the Vagabond. I had a car accident in December last year, and I have some problems with my neck and my arms. So the Vagabond is a perfect machine for me because it's electric. And I just press a button and I rolled it through the machine 3, maybe 4 times, there, back, and this is how it comes out. Now as you can see, you know, there's a lot of cuts in this doily, so there are some areas that did not totally come through the cut. So I'm just going to poke those out, and as you can see, it comes out really easily using the tools. And the tools are very inexpensive, and you get 5 tools. Obviously you can use a toothpick or something else if you like. You don't have to purchase the tools. I just like to use them for several other things as well besides just this, so it's a go-to tool of mine. And you just poke through. The cut is there. You just need to help get the paper out is all that is. Now once you pull it from your machine, all I do is give it a couple flicks like this with my finger, and if any paper remains, it falls quickly out. It's not a big deal to get those pieces out. So work with your dies. There is a little note inside with the doily dies that tell you to tape it to your plate to ensure a good cut. You do what works for you. Like I said, rolling it through the machine a few times is more than enough for me to get the cut that I need. So that's how I do it. Now to make the one-sided gift topper like this, you're going to need 4 of the same doily. And again, I use the Italian flourish. You can do this with any of the doilies. This is just the way that I've done it. You know, let's talk a little bit as to how you're going to make your sandwich with your machine if you are using the shim. A lot of people have written to me and asked me, why does my plate curl up if you did purchase this? More than likely you're putting it on the top of your sandwich when you create what's going to go through your machine. I put mine on the bottom and it stays flat. So if it's going through the machine, I put this first. I put the clear plate, my paper. Okay, so all that's missing is the plate. The plate's on the bottom of this, so it's down here. Then I have the adapter shim, my paper, my die face down, and then the second plate. And then it goes through the machine. Now some people do this opposite and they put their die facing up so that when it comes through the machine and comes out, you can actually look at the paper. So obviously this is going to be backwards. You can look at the paper and you'll be able to see if you've got a proper cut or not. I don't like to do it that way. It's just habit for me. I like to do it face down. And if I roll it back and forth a couple of times, I'm fine. I know that my cut is there. So that's how I do it. Also, the paper that I'm using, that's another thing that people question me a lot about. I am using a really, really pretty metallic paper from Hobby Lobby, which is made from the Paper Studio. It is 59 cents a sheet. I purchase it when it's half price. So it comes in the 8.5 by 11, and I hope you can see it's like a really pretty shimmery paper. And I get a really nice cut with this. Okay, so back to the project. The first doily is going to be face down and it's left whole. Now the next ones, I'm just going to show you this. You can see this thick line, and there's several of them throughout the doily. You just want to cut one of them down to the center hole, like this. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fan fold and just go back and forth. Now you want to try to line these up at the top as much as possible. Don't worry about it down here at the bottom because you're not going to see that. It's the top that you're going to see. So you're just going to fan fold this back and forth. And this is such an easy project. You can do this with your children. So this is something that's going to turn out beautifully. It's fun and it's easy to do. And like I said, the cost of the kit is $35.99 total, including shipping. And what's great about that is if you go to buy a gift topper, a tag to hang from your gift bag, any of that type of decorative thing for your packaging, you're going to spend $3 or $4 a piece on that. So obviously this is going to pay for itself, and it's a fun creative project, and you'll have it forever. Okay, so this is what it looks like after you're done folding it. And again, you're going to do that. You can do it with 2 or you can do it with 3. It's all about the look and how you like it when it's finished, and I'll show you that. I'm using 3 that I'm cutting. So again, this is all I'm going to do is go back and forth. And just try to get it to line up as close as possible up at the top. And you're just fan folding back and forth. Cheery Lynn has several doilies. Beautiful backers. You can use them for this type of project. If you figure out where to cut and how to fold, you can make different kinds of these. This is the first one that I've created and experimented with that I really like. When you get it to this point, give it a really good hard press so those folds are nice and crisp. And as you can see, this is what it's going to look like after I've let it go. And that's what we want. So again, you're just cutting down that line all the way to the hole. And fan folding. And it's just taking me a little bit longer because I'm showing it to you, so imagine how much quicker this is going to go when you do this yourself. And the only other supplies that you need are an adhesive and whatever you want to decorate the center with. This one's going to be for Christmas, so I'm going to use a sticker and a couple other fun little things that I'm going to show you. But in the other ones that I've made, as you can see, I've adhered it with a brad, and it's just a great way of holding it all together. So because I'm not going to be using a brad for this, or I might use a brad, we'll see, and then just decorate over the top of it, you have to be really careful using your adhesive because of all of the holes in this doily. Okay, so there's my third one. Now, what we're going to do is just place it down on top of the base die, and you're just going to kind of lay it out. It's going to open as it wants to, so you're going to have to help it a little bit. Sometimes it wants to stick a little bit. And again, depending on how much you want this to be, how 3D like, this is a really tight one, as you can see. I can leave it this tight, and as you can see, I'm going to need 2 more if I do it like that. So it all depends on how much you're going to open it. And I like to open mine a bit like this. And this is how I only need to use the 3. So as you can see, I've got the nice 3-dimensional look there, which is exactly what I wanted to achieve. It's spread out nicely, so you don't have to worry about cutting more out. Again, this is using a total of 4 doilies, 1 base and 3 that you cut. Now my adhesive of choice for this project is Glossy Accents because it dries clear and it's got the nice nozzle, pointy detail nozzle on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run some adhesive. I just want to connect these together a little bit. You don't really need to do this part of it because as long as you adhere glue in the center, you're going to be good to go. But I just want to ensure that mine are going to stick together. And one other thing, when I'm placing this down on top of my base die, I'm doing it where the crisp fold line is facing up. There's not really a right or a wrong way to do this, so just go with it. And don't worry about the adhesive because again, that's going to dry clear. So again, I'm just going to adhere these 2 together. And just pinch it from the back right there, which is where it's glued. And I'm not even worrying about doing it up at the top. I'm just doing it at the very bottom. And we're going to do that with all 3 of them. And I'm not going to put them together until I put them actually on the project because I want to make sure that it's spread out enough. And again, just giving it that pinch is all you need. And you do have to hold it for a second because that line is very fine because of how detailed the die is. Now what I do like to do is I like to put a generous amount of glue right here in the center. And then I also run it up a couple of the lines here, the thick lines, the lines that you cut on the other doilies. And then just place it down. Then I do my adhering of this last one when it's actually on the doily. And you do have to hold it for a second because it does take a little bit. And you can just push it in from the sides here because it is a very delicate area to work with and there's a lot of holes there, so it just takes a minute. I do not recommend you using hot glue for this project. You will burn yourself. Okay, look at how beautiful that is. The green is really pretty. So that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and do another one to show you. Only this time I'm just going to go ahead and cut with 3 more. And I am working on a craft mat again because of the holes. The glue is going to squirt through there, and working on a craft mat you can move it around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and once again I'm cutting up to the center. I'm just going to cut them all really quick. This is how I normally do them. Just cut to the center. cut to the center. And we'll just do this really quick now that you know how to do it. It's just fan fold. This is so that I can make it double-sided. What I've just completed would be enough just with the 4 to make it single-sided. But I'm just going to prepare it as if we're going to have it as a little ornament. And I'm going to show you. Again, give it a good crease. And just fan fold. This is one of my favorite projects. I'll sit in front of the TV and just go ahead and cut them out. I like to cut all my pieces out at one time and then do the assembling later. And I use mine for birthday presents, Christmas presents, little Halloween gift bags that I pass out, everyday gifts that I give to people. If I just want to give them a book or something like that, you can just put it right on top. It's just a fun way of making a package, and you can even put one on top of an envelope. It just makes it really elegant. I've given out gift cards and put a one of these gift toppers right on top of the envelope just to make it a little bit more pretty and presentable. Okay, so there's the next 3. All right, and you may have to go in with adhesive again. Okay, then I take the Snowflake 2, which cuts out like this, and I put that one there, and the Snowflake 5 cuts out like this, and you put that right there, and that would be a single gift topper. You can put a brad in the middle. Mine's going to be decorated for Christmas, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little Rudolph in there, but I'm going to try something a little fun that I haven't tried yet. I found these really cute little musical buttons. This one plays Jingle Bells, obviously, and I thought it would be fun. Let's just see this a second. I don't know why all this plastic is around it. Yeah, let's try that. Now we're going to have some music there. I'm going to cover it by using my hole punch. And this is a Stampin' Up! Hole punch, and I'm sorry, but there's not even a size on that. But I just, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me just layer this a second. Let's see. I'm sorry, but you're probably going to hear some more music, but okay, what I'm going to do is this I am going to have to adhere with probably, I don't think I want to put hot glue on there. So let's, actually I can put hot glue on the plastic part of the musical button here. So that's what I'm going to do, just to get it to stick. I don't want to put it on the metal because I'm afraid that might prevent the button from working. So we'll just hold that there a second. I apologize for the music again, but I wanted to make sure it was going to work. And then I will also use hot glue for that center. And this is just to cover up the button. This is the first time I've made one like this. I just would like to see how that's going to come out. Hopefully that hot glue is not going to destroy the metal. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Snowflake 2 over the top of that. And again, I'm going back to my glossy accents. And I'm just going to put that in the middle. Now, if you're using the brad, you don't need to use all this adhesive because the brad holds, it just goes right in the center through the hole. There's a hole in the center of every one of these, the snowflake, both snowflakes, and then the doily itself. so the brad will hold it all together. But because I want to use this cute little musical button, I would like to try it like this first. So then I'm going to put the snowflake 2 on top of that, or 5. This is the snowflakes 5, sorry. And then I have this cute little Rudolph. So let's put, we're going to do him with hot glue. I do like hot glue because it dries so much faster, but you have to be careful again with all the little holes in here. Now, after this is nice and dry, what I like to do is I go in with my scissors or my Cheery Lynn tool, and I like to pick up this part of the snowflake just to make it even a little bit more three-dimensional. All right, so now if I wanted to, I am done already. Isn't it cute? Look at that. I purchased, excuse me, I purchased these cute little stockings from the dollar store. How cute would that be just to hot glue on there and to fill the little stocking up? Isn't that adorable? And then if you like I did with the other ones, you can add some tulle. And all I do with my tulle is I cut a nice square. This is actually big enough. And I fold it in half and fold it in half again. And then I just take, let me do it like this. I just take it like this and squeeze it all together so that you've got a little poof at the end. And actually this might be a little big, so you can go ahead and cut it. You can cut it to whatever size. And then all you have to do is slide it into one of these slots. And for this I do use hot glue. And look at how cute that is. Okay, so what I would like to do is show you how to make this three-dimensional now. And all we're going to do is turn this over and do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and then we have an ornament. This would be really cute, like to give to your teachers, your kids' teachers, to put it on a little gift bag or box that you're presenting for a teacher. And again, all I'm doing is adhering those sides together. And as you can see, this took me less than 15 minutes to do. It took me a little bit longer because I'm talking to you, showing you how to do this. And once again, we're going to go ahead and put some glue there in the center. I'm not going to put a musical button, obviously, on the other side too, on this side, since I have one already in the front. That's not necessary. And you do have to hold this for a minute now because we've got that bottom part as well. And it does take a little bit longer. Now actually when you're working on this side, it is okay to squirt some hot glue in there to get it to grab, because we are going to be building up a center there. So if you're impatient like me and you want it to go a little quicker, squirt some hot glue inside there. And just push it with your hands. You just want to make sure that the hot glue stays only in the center, because if you get it out into the center of where the ridges are, the creases that you made, it's not going to flare like it should. Just so it matches the other side, I'm going to go ahead and cut another circle here. It's so three-dimensional. And I'm going to put some right here on the top. Now, because there's nothing in there in the center, we're just going to use a little piece of paper to give it a base to glue to. And I just folded a little piece of paper and stuck it on there. There's nothing more to that. And it's just because I want to have some place for that glue to hold on to. And we're just doing exactly the same thing as we did on the other side, which is putting some, now I'm using the glossy accents. Right there in the center. These are so fun and so cute. Then I'm just going to get another little reindeer here. And obviously we're making it exactly the same as we did the other side, except I'm not going to put the tool in on this side because you can still see it from the other side. Because obviously if it's going to be 3D, you're going to want to see it from all ends. And then we're just going to pick up our end pieces here. And look how cute. So now we have a three-dimensional ornament. So we've gone from a flat gift topper, one-sided like this, that we can go ahead and put on top of a package, an envelope, or a stocking, to just adding a piece of yarn or tulle or something and making it an ornament. And this one, remember, is also musical. So we can put a little tag that says press Rudolph's nose, or we can color his nose red, press the red nose, give him a little directions to let him know that it's musical. So this is the project, just using 3 dies. Look at how pretty it is. Again, this kit is available on my blog at becauseeverypicturehasastoryytotell.blogspot.com. So run over there to my blog and take a look, and you can order this kit there. Thank you.